Hey everybody, happy Sunday to you guys. Welcome to Mountain Made Creations. I'm Jill and we're gonna make a 10-inch door hanger today. I've already painted it, but anyway, first of all, welcome to Mountain Made Creations. If you're new here, welcome. If you are catching this on Facebook Live, comment, let me know where you're watching from. If you are catching this on YouTube, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up. All of that helps me grow, and that's what I'm trying to do, is reach more people, because I love doing this. Crafting is one of my favorite things to do, and to show somebody else how to do it is, I don't know, it's just like something I love to do. I've learned a lot from other people on YouTube and on Facebook, so I just kind of want to give back. So if you're watching, comment and let me know where you're watching from. So today we're going to be making a 10-inch door hanger, and it's smaller than what I normally do, and it's not the same kind of wood that I normally do. I normally do the wood rounds from like Lowe's or Home Depot has them, but this is just a 10-inch round that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's very thin, so this would probably not do well outside. It could do well on the front door if you have like a storm door over it, but it wouldn't do good in the weather, I don't think. So what I did is I painted this with Folk Art chalk paint. Hang on, let me grab it. This is called Folk Art chalk paint in Imperial, and I'm pretty sure I got this at Joann Fabrics, because I normally buy my paints there when they're on sale, because they have the best prices that I've found so far. Walmart has Waverly paint, but I think it's a better deal at Joann's with the sale or with a coupon. So what I did was I painted it front and back. And then just a few minutes ago, I went over this with the this ultra clear protective acrylic finish, just so it seals that, so the stencil I put on here, the paint doesn't bleed or seep through or anything. So that's why I did that. Also, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Ikonart Stencil Kit. This has been a complete game changer. Now, I do get stencils from Magnolia. I've gotten stencils from a maker studio. I also make my own stencils. It is a system that I learned about on, I think it was on Facebook. I saw another crafter using it, and I knew I had to have it. So it's amazing. It's about, I think the kit is $200, but it has earned, I have made my money back so much with this. I have used it so much with so many different stencils. It's completely changed my crafting. If you have a design, or if you create your own design, you can make a stencil with that. So let me tell you a little bit about that. First of all, when you make a stencil, you I create, or I put them all in, I use Cricut Design Space, and I also use Silhouette Studio, but I use the free version of Silhouette Studio. The paid version is the only way you can use an SVG on there. So a lot of times I will make the design, put it in Cricut Design Space, get the sizes that I need, write down those sizes, then I go to Silhouette Studio and import them there, change the size, and print, because it's a lot easier for me to print from Silhouette Studio. Cricut is not very friendly with printing unless you print that small size, and we don't want to do that. The stencils that I buy are 10 by 12. You can get bigger, but my printer won't print any larger than 8.5 by 14. So that's why I don't get the bigger stencils. I'm thinking about getting them, because with some of my 15 and 18-inch door hangers that I make, some of those stencils they're not big enough, because I'm limited to 10 by 12. And so I'm having to cut it in half and do all that, which has worked so far, but I would really like to be able to have the bigger stencils. So I'm looking into that, maybe somehow making that work. I'm still tossing that around in my little head. But first, what you do is you create your design, or you buy your design. I get a lot of them from So Fancy, design bundles. There's a lot of them that you can buy from, but those two places, they will tell you on there, like I sell my items that I make. So I need to make sure that there's a license with the designs that I purchase, enabling me to be able to sell them. So you have to be careful with that, because some designs you can buy that they don't allow that, and you don't want to get in trouble with that. So design bundles, I know, always have the license where I can make something and sell it. And a lot of So Fancy is the same way. You just have to check the license part of it. But I take the design and I print it on this film right here, and it has like an emulsion side and a silky side, or a smooth side, slick side. So you want to print, when I print, I mirror my image, and you print on the side that's kind of not so soft. And then when you put it on the Ikonart Light, you want it to be face down so you can read it. So what you do is you take this, and the stencil film is completely purple or blue. They sell two different types. It's going to be all solid. So I'm going to put this down. And this is the Ikonart Light. And this is what makes the stencil. So this is what that looks like. And so what I do is you put down the stencil, and you put it with the textured side up. Then you put this down where you can read it if you mirrored it. You want the emulsion side face down on this. You smooth out any bubbles, and then you put a clear piece of plastic over that comes with the stencils. And then you turn this light on for, I'd use 30 seconds. Now there's different times that you can play around with depending on your printer and your printer settings. Once you do this for 30 minutes, you take it, you put it on this clipboard, and it comes with the kit. In the kit, you're going to get this, you're going to get a clipboard, and you're going to get some stencil films, blue and purple, I believe. So then once I have done it in here, I'm going to put it on this clipboard, and I'm going to put it in the sink with hot water, look just like this, for about a minute or two. And then I take the sprayer and spray it, and the design, you'll start seeing the design. So where the design is like screen print, basically. It's the best way to explain it. And so then there's your stencil. Once you make your stencil, you want to put it under this light for 2 minutes, and that makes it where it's reusable over and over again, and it makes it more durable. I have forgot to do that, but it's okay if you forget. It still works. So that's what I use when I make like t-shirts that I want a specific design on. I will make these. I actually made this. I'm gonna put this on a shirt. So you just take the chalk, or you take the ink and go over it with the squeegee, put this on your shirt, and then you heat press it for whatever the time is, whatever paint you're using. I have a lot of Magnolia ink, and I also have Speedball ink, and I just started using the Speedball ink. It's amazing, y'all. I really like the Speedball ink. Magnolia ink is good too, but I really, really like the Speedball. But you're limited in colors. Now Magnolia has a whole bunch of colors. They have the ink and the chalk paste. So it's awesome that you can get so many different colors in the ink. That's why I like Magnolia's ink. But both of those work on the Ikonart stencils. I mean, so this is a game changer if you like to do specific designs, your own designs, if you're creative enough to create the artwork, which I'm not. But I have created a few things using like just text and stuff like that. So I have created my own of a few, but most of the time I'm purchasing the designs. This design I'm pretty sure came from, I think it came from So Fancy, but I'm not positive of that. So let's get started. So on this, I sprayed it with the clear. So I'm just going to go over it lightly with some 400 grit sandpaper, and this is just going to make it smooth. You want a smooth surface when you're using stencils so that the paint doesn't bleed or look not clear. You want it crisp. I like it crisp. So I'm just gonna go over it lightly and make it look smooth. Because the smoother it is, the better it's gonna be for your design. It's gonna come out looking more crisp. So now I'm just going to kind of go over it with this. Now you can use the Magnolia wax also, but since look at that, yikes. Since I've already sprayed it, we're just not going to have to use the wax. So that's what we have now. It's nice and smooth. So, and what I did in Cricut Design spaces, I get a shape that's 10 inches, and then I resize the design to fit into the circle. So, and see, like with this, if I'm doing the 15-inch wood round that I normally do, I can't make this fit. I can't make the round part fit because my stencil is only a 10 by 12. So it's not going to fit a 15-inch door round. So that's the only reason I'm looking at getting the bigger stencil films, because I can't make that circle fit. And there are some really cute designs that I want to do on the big 15 and 18-inch door rounds. So I'm going to cut a little corner just so I know which way to put the backing back on there, and I'm going to write back on the back of it because I want to put the stencil back on the correct way or it can ruin your stencil. Same with Magnolia Stencils. And so now I'm going to just take the backing off, and I have a tub of water to put my stencil in. I'm going to be using white. It's called Brilliant White by Magnolia Design. It is the chalk paste. This stuff is amazing, you guys. Just saying. So I'm going to peel off the backing, put it on the round, and then we're going to paint it. Then we'll put a bow, and then we'll be done. It's that easy, you guys. And all I did when I painted this red was I used a roller, so you don't have, I didn't want the paintbrush stripes on there. Paintbrush streaks, you know, where you can see where you paint it with the paintbrush. I can't even think of the words, oh my goodness. So that's why I used a roller. And these are reusable. You can reuse them over and over again. They have two different kind of stencils. The blue is more for, I guess, wood and stuff, and the purple is textile. It's more for fabric. And I just buy the purple, and I've used both, but the purple I just buy the purple because it works for everything. If I could get the backing off, we'd be doing good. So, what's the weather like where you guys are watching from? It is so gloomy here, but you know what? It's okay because we didn't have that damage and stuff like Florida did, so we are blessed in that way. So I can't complain too much. Goodness sakes. And I have a code. If anybody's interested in the Ikonart, I can put the link below in the comments. It's ikonartstencil.com. I have a code where you can get 15% off. It's called Creative 15. If you put that code in, you'll get 15% off your order. So that's awesome. Oh my goodness, what in the world? There we go. This is a brand new stencil. I have not used it yet. I created it just for a 10-inch round. Like I said, I don't normally use the 10-inch. I hope that this doesn't pull my paint up. I'm gonna fuzz this. I'm just gonna fuzz it like once or twice. I just am paranoid it's gonna pull my paint up, so I don't think it will, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna fuzz it. That just takes some of the sticky off, because I haven't used this one yet, so I don't wanna peel up any paint since that is wood. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna center this on the round, and I can see pretty much where the round is, and I just want to make sure I get it right on the edge. So that I get the white all the way to the edge without leaving a gap between the red and the white. So I'm just positioning this on here so I get it all the way to the edge. And I think that has it. What is that? It's a lint or something. And so I'm just gonna smooth it down, try to get it all the way down. And I just wanna make sure that that is all the way to the edge, and it is. And I'm just making sure if I feel any bumps or anything under it that I smooth it out so that the paint doesn't bleed or have any fuzziness to it. I want it to be crisp. All right, so I'm gonna use the Magnolia chalk paste. I'm gonna stir it up a little bit. And if you have Magnolia chalk paste, it's advisable to every week to go and open up all your chalk paste, spritz a little bit of distilled water in there so it doesn't dry up. If you're not using it a lot, it will dry up. I did not do that and I wasted some, but I do believe they have a new formula for their chalk paste. It's much, much better. So that's just it. So I'm just gonna use this squeegee. I'm gonna put some on here. It's not gonna take a whole lot, and we're just gonna start putting it down. And I'm not giving any pressure to it. I'm just going over it lightly. Just making sure it goes through the whole stencil. And there's no pressure. You don't need to do a lot of pressure. And you can always lift this. If you've missed a spot, you can go back over it. If you lift it slow, that's another reason I love these stencils. It's a total game changer. And you're not using hardly any chalk paste to do this. So it's awesome. So I'm just going over it, no pressure. I'm just smoothing it down. So now I'm gonna go over all this down here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some paint on there. And so the Ikonart system is just great for, you know, if you come up with an idea of something that you want to make and you don't have a stencil that you've purchased that has that design on it, you can make it. I mean, that's what's great about it. There's no limit to the creativity that you can do with one of these. And like I said, I'm not good with creating the designs. I have created a few, but they were more like text designs and something like that. But as far as creating the actual design, that's not one of my specialties for sure. So I'm just gonna peel this up a little bit. Oh my gosh, y'all. And see what it looks like. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, the eye looks like it needs a little bit. So I'm just gonna go over that. Again, I'm not using hardly any pressure. So I'm just gonna lift this lightly, make sure that that looks okay. And I think I need to go over that a little bit more. Just put my hand right in that paint. So I'm not using hardly any pressure. Okay, now I want to look at this down here to make sure the solid part looks okay, because I need to go over that again because it's just a solid screen right there. So I need to make sure that that doesn't show any of the red. So I'm just going to go over it with another coat. Just to get that good and white. And I'm going to lift it, look at it. If it looks okay, we'll take it off. If not, I'll go over it with another coat. And I like to get the line streaks off of there as well. So let's lift this up and take a peek. Y'all, I'm about to die. This is so cute. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, so let me pull this up, make sure everything looks okay before I lift it all the way. Y'all, oh my goodness. I get so excited when I take these off. Y'all, this is so, so cute. So let me just show you how adorable is that. Now, you guys, there is no way that I could get the lines that crisp doing it the way I used to do it, which is I would make a stencil on the Cricut and cut it out on stencil vinyl, put the stencil down, and then just blot it with like a makeup brush, and then take the stencil off, and then it's done. You can't reuse it. This is so crisp and so pretty that I could not do if I was using the stencil vinyl from Cricut. So, y'all, how adorable is this? So sweet, so sweet. I am loving this right now. I am so excited. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now, we're gonna make the bow, and I'm gonna put this in front of my fan to dry. I'm gonna put the top back on my chalk paste so it doesn't dry up, and I'm gonna give it a little squirt, just because I need to do that so that it doesn't dry up. So I have distilled water in here, and I'm just gonna give it like a little squirt. That's all you need, and then I'm going to stir it up, and then I'm gonna put the lid on it. That keeps it from drying up, and you can reuse it and reuse it. Like I said, it doesn't hardly use up any chalk paste when you're doing these stencils. That is another good thing about it. And Magnolia has some amazing stencils as well, but sometimes I just want something that maybe they don't have. And so that's what I do as I make them on the Ikonart. So I use both because Magnolia does have some really, really cute stencils. And their stencils are very good and reusable. But a lot of times I want to make something my own, and this is how I can do it. So it's like my crafting is just amazing right now, thanks to that. I mean, I couldn't do this right here using the stencil vinyl from that you use on the Cricut, where you cut it and then you just stick it down, because usually something would bleed or something like that. Hang on, let me throw this over here in front of the thing. Okay, so let's do a bow. So like I said, doing it with the Cricut and cutting out the vinyl, sometimes I have to do that because of the 18 inches. I can't print a stencil on the 10 by 12 and get it big enough unless I do it in sections. Sometimes that's a problem, sometimes not. That's why I'm really looking into the bigger stencil film. And also Magnolia makes bigger stencils, so that's an option as well. Like they have the patterns of the daisies, the Christmas trees, the hearts, all that. I love that, so I grabbed those up. I'm gonna be doing some more. I'm trying to get into Christmas now. It's only like 82 days till Christmas, y'all. That's amazing. So I'm gonna start really getting into the Christmas crafting and all that. So I have some really cute ideas to use these stencil patterns. I'm excited to do that. So now we got to do the bow, and I'm thinking about one of these two, but I'm not really sure that I want to do this, or do I want to do, let me grab it, hang on. Because this stencil, because this door round it is only 10 inches, I don't want a gigantic bow. So I'm thinking that we'll use this ribbon. And this came from Sam's Club, and they have their ribbon out right now. So if you have a Sam's Club, they have these ribbons. You get 50 yards, and they have this size, and then they have the size like this, and there's, I think it's $7.98 for a whole roll. That is insane, and the ribbon is really, really good. So I'm just gonna try to see what this is gonna look like. and how big I want it to be. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so let me make sure I have the right length before I put this back over there in front of the fan. Y'all, I'm so excited about this. This turned out so cute. Okay, all right, let me move this so I don't get that messed up. And I will seal that with, I have some spray lacquer. I really like that. So I'll be using that. And I don't know if my heat gun was even heating up. My glue gun, I mean. So I'm just gonna make a small bow, and it's not even heating up. A small bow, and I'm gonna use a couple pieces of greenery, and I'm thinking that I might use a couple pieces of this because I really like that. And like I said, it doesn't need to be something really big because the door round is so small. So I'm going to do this ribbon. We're gonna make a really cute, easy bow. My heat gun wasn't heating up like I thought it was, so we'll have to wait just a minute. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut the ribbon to match this one. And it's just gonna be a cute little small bow, nothing fancy. 4 loops, that's it. And then we're gonna make a little tube to go around the middle. I'm gonna see what these two, and that's not even. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put it kind of like if you watched the live yesterday, was it yesterday? No, I think it was last weekend. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. All right. Okay, so I'm just getting these two together and waiting on my glue gun to heat up. So I just put them together like this. And I'm thinking that we're gonna just scrunch these. It's just gonna be, maybe I'll do one more. We'll see what it looks like once I can get it glued. Just a small bow with a little bit of greenery is all we're gonna need. All right. Yeah, it's about heated up now. I don't know why it wasn't heating up. All right, tell me, are you guys doing Christmas crafts yet, or are you still with fall? I love fall. Sometimes I think that fall gets skipped over so quick because they start putting the Halloween out so fast. I mean, the Christmas out so fast. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is put a little glue on here. We're gonna glue these loops together. And my bows are not fancy. I have seen some gorgeous bows, and I have a bow maker, but I don't know. I really like the bow part, but sometimes I just struggle with it sometimes, and that's a lot of glue. Got way too much glue on that. Yikes. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, is I'm gonna turn them over and we're gonna scrunch them in the middle let me actually fold this so I get it in the middle and not. So my loops are all the same size. I can't stand it when my loops are not the same. It drives me crazy. So I just took it and folded it in the center so I'll know where the center is, and then we can scrunch it in the center. So I'm going to scrunch this up. I put too much glue on this one, so it's not cooperating. And so I'm just going to put one there and one here. So we're going to have that. And then I'm going to make a tube out of this one. And it's going to go right in the center. I love this ribbon. But I'm going to put a little dab of glue on this. And then I'm going to use a zip tie to put this together. And I'm not real sure what the staple gun is going to do to that 10-inch round because it's so thin. But we're going to find out because I don't trust the hot glue to hold it. I think sometimes the glue comes loose if it's in heat or something. All right, so now I'm going to take the zip tie and I'm just going to go through this little tube. Maybe. Okay. All right, so we're going to go through. We have the little tube. And I'm going to take the zip tie and go through that. And then we're going to scrunch the ribbon, bring the zip tie around, tie it tight. But before I tie it real tight, I want to make sure that everything is centered and everything looks right. And then I'm going to use some little needle nose pliers to pull it tight because I can't get it real tight. I'm going to make sure this looks right before I cut that zip tie, because if it's not, I'm going to cut it off and do it again because it'll drive me crazy if it's not centered. And also, the reason also that I spray the, when I seal those, I spray it because I have noticed that using the chalk paste, when I paint on my sealer, it sometimes will run. So I spray the sealer over it instead of using a brush. When I'm using the chalk paste. If I'm using regular chalk paint, then I can just paint it on. And a lot of times I'll spray the lacquer on there and then I'll go over it with polyurethane just because I like it to be good and sealed. Okay, so now we have the little bow. Here's our little bow. Now I'm going to attach some greenery to the wreath with the staple gun. Hopefully it's not going to put a big hole in it. So this is just a Christmas pick that I had from last year, I think. So let me go bring the wreath back over here. And I got to do this without messing up the paint if it's not dry. It may not be dry yet. So we're going to try to do this without messing it up. So hang on one second. Let me grab my staple gun. All right. I am so excited how good this turned out, you guys. All right, so I'm going to put the little bow there. And I don't want to cover up my Mary and Christmas. And let me see about the greenery. So cute. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark with chalk where I want to staple the greenery. And I know this probably looks crazy to y'all, but if I don't do it like this and I move it, then I can't get it right and I don't like the way it looks. So, okay, that looks good. Cross your fingers that this staple gun doesn't mess this up. All right, so let me move this. I'm gonna have to do it back here. Because it's lower and I can't really get a good grip on this. This is a heavy duty staple gun that Wayne lets me use. So I'm going to wish me luck, y'all. That didn't even go all the way through. I can't believe it. Let me get that staple out. Try it again. Okay. Yes. And I'm probably going to put some glue on that, but I'm going to also staple the ribbon down also, because sometimes the paint or the hot glue doesn't hold it. And I want this to stay. I don't want it to fall off. So that's why I staple it and glue it. All right, let me put it back here and staple it. These staple guns are amazing. So let me just fix this bow, and just like that we're done, except for letting it dry, of course. But it's so easy to create something so sweet and cute. And you can bend these around how you want them, the little picks. But I think this is so cute. Okay, guys, let me know what you think. What do y'all think? How cute is this? Oh my goodness. Y'all, this is so cute. So we did this in little or no time using a stencil from Ikonart. You can make your own stencils. It doesn't take long to make your stencils. The longest thing is drying. And I have found that when you dry your stencil, I hang mine on, like the when you buy breeches, they come on those pants hangers. I just clip it to that and sit it in front of my fan, and it dries in no time. Or if I'm not needing it anytime soon, then I don't even have to put it in front of the fan. But I think this turned out so cute, you guys. Let me know what you think. Again, I'll put the link to the Ikonart in the comments. And if you use Creative 15, you'll get 15% off. Thank you, Stephanie. So yeah, I'm all into Christmas decorating now. Or I'm not decorating my house, but making Christmas decorations. So I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I think that's so cute. I'm not used to making the tiny door rounds. I'm used to the bigger ones with the big thick wood, and it takes days to make those. I love making them. Those are my favorite, but it takes a long time to make them because you have to stain it, seal it, paint it, and seal it, when you also have to sand it. It's a several day thing in the makes, but I love it. I love, love, love making them. They are by far my favorite. So that is our wreath. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you will continue to come visit me on this page. I'd love it if you would follow the page or sprinkle it out. That would be awesome. So I hope y'all have a great Sunday, the rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I think the sun's going to be out and shining just about after tomorrow, I think the rest of the week. So it's going to be good. The sun is going to shine again. So you guys, y'all have a great day. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. And I will talk to you guys soon. Y'all take care.